Two men mocked a sumo wrestler in a restaurant. After leaving, the sumo kept following them. The sumo walked behind them with a murderous look on his face. At first, the two thought they were just going the same way, but after turning a corner, the sumo quickly caught up with them. The two sped up and ran forward. When passing a corner, they hid behind a box and looked out, only to find that the sumo hadn't caught up. But when they turned around, they saw the sumo running towards them at full speed. Scared, the two turned and ran. The sumo chased after them relentlessly. The two kept winding through alleys but still couldn't shake off the sumo. It seemed that the sumo's few hundred pounds of weight didn't affect his speed at all. As the distance grew closer and closer, the two could only run desperately ahead. Luckily, they passed a road. A taxi blocked the sumo's path. This allowed the two to pull away from the sumo. They ran to a building. Kimura pulled his companion into the basement. The sumo quickly caught up. The sumo seemed to feel that slippers would affect his speed and waited for the two barefoot at the door. It turned out to be a members-only club. The sumo couldn't get in. 2 hours later, Kimura and his companion walked out the door. To their horror, they found that the sumo still hadn't left. The two stood still, observing the sumo. Unexpectedly, when the sumo stepped down, the earth shook. The sumo turned around and saw the two who had just come out, so he rushed towards them quickly. The two had no time to think. They ran into the corridor. Perhaps because of taking off his shoes, the sumo's running speed got even faster. The chase had gone from day to night. The sumo still showed no intention of letting them go. The distance between the three got closer and closer. Kimura and his companion could barely run anymore, but the sumo still had plenty of energy. Seeing they couldn't outrun him in a straight line, Kimura and his companion turned into an alley. The sumo wasn't very agile. The turn slowed down his speed. The two wound around the complex alleys, gradually pulling away from the sumo. When turning a corner, the sumo couldn't react in time and knocked over a fish tank by the road. Kimura also lost his footing, tripping over a bicycle on the roadside. This narrowed the gap between the three again. Seeing the sumo rushing over once more, they ran to the road and saw a security booth ahead, thinking they were finally saved. But when they entered the booth, they found no one inside. The sign said, "Out on patrol." The two felt they were out of luck, but before they could finish dialing the emergency number, Yamazaki got scared and ran away directly. Kimura looked outside. It turned out the sumo had caught up. He had no time to hesitate. He could only hurry and flee. Suddenly, Yamazaki accidentally hit a road sign and fell to the ground. But at this point, Kimura had no time to save him, so the sumo quickly arrived in front of Yamazaki. Kimura got scared and hid somewhere directly. Just then, his cell phone rang. It was his wife calling. His wife kept urging him to come home quickly. Just as Kimura impatiently hung up the phone, Yamazaki suddenly ran over. Kimura asked him what happened, looking puzzled. It turned out the sumo's target wasn't Yamazaki, but Kimura, who mocked him. Just then they heard a commotion. The sumo was chasing after them. The two could only keep running in fear. They saw a bus and immediately